I never thought I'd be the kind of person writing something like this online, but here I am. Maybe it's therapy. Maybe it's just a way to stop the thoughts from eating me alive. I met Jason when I was 22. He was charming in a way that felt almost cinematic. Tall, goofy smile, the kind of guy who made you feel like the only person in the room when he talked to you. We met at a college party, and honestly, I wasn't even planning to go that night. But he walked straight up to me, asked if I wanted to play beer pong, and that was it. Fast forward 2 years, and we were living together in a small apartment. It wasn't perfect, but it was ours. We had late-night movie marathons, grocery store runs that always turned into adventures, and long talks about our future. I really thought he was the one. But somewhere along the way, little cracks started to show. At first, it was just his phone. He used to leave it lying around all the time, face up, no passcode. Then suddenly, he always kept it in his pocket. Notifications went silent. If I walked by while he was texting, he'd tilt the screen away. I asked him once, casually, and he laughed it off. "Babe, you're paranoid. It's just the guys from work." I wanted to believe him. I did believe him. Until the first weird night. He told me he was going out with his coworkers after a long shift. Totally normal. But one of my best friends, let's call her Emily, texted me that same night, asking why I wasn't at the bar with Jason and the gang. I told her I didn't even know there was a hangout. She just replied, "Oh, never mind, must have been a mix-up," and changed the subject. It stuck in my mind. Why would she even ask if she wasn't there? And why did Jason come home at 2 a.m. smelling of perfume that definitely wasn't mine? I tried to ignore it, push the doubts away, but deep down I felt it. Something was wrong, and I had no idea how bad it really was. Things got worse in the following months. Jason became distant. We still went out, we still laughed sometimes, but he wasn't fully there. His eyes wandered. His texts got shorter. Then came the night that shattered everything. It was a Friday, and I had a girls' night planned with Emily and another friend of mine, Sarah. We'd known each other since high school. Inseparable. They were my rocks. The kind of friends you cry with, laugh with, trust with your life. But that night, both Emily and Sarah canceled at the last minute. "Sorry, something came up," Emily texted. Sarah said she had family stuff. Weird, but fine. I decided to stay home with a bottle of wine and Netflix. Around midnight, Jason still wasn't home. He said he was working late, but my gut told me otherwise. Something in me, call it intuition, call it desperation, told me to check his location on Find My iPhone. He'd shared it with me months ago and clearly forgot. And that's when my world split in half. His dot wasn't at work. It wasn't at a bar. It was at Sarah's apartment. My heart started pounding so hard I thought I might pass out. I drove there, shaking the whole way. When I pulled up, I saw his car parked out front. I wanted to throw up. I climbed the stairs, knocked on the door, and braced myself. The door swung open, and there he was, Jason, shirtless. Behind him, both Sarah and Emily, hair messy, barefoot, looking like they'd been caught in the middle of something. I swear my brain short-circuited. I couldn't even process what I was seeing. My boyfriend, my two best friends, all together. Jason's face went white. Sarah stammered something about just hanging out. Emily couldn't even look me in the eye. And I just stood there, feeling like my entire life had been ripped apart in 1 second.
I don't even remember the drive home that night. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold the wheel. Jason came back around 3 a.m. He tried to explain, to twist it into something less than what it was. It just happened once. It didn't mean anything. I was drunk. But then the texts came. From Emily, from Sarah, confessions, apologies, excuses. The truth spilled out in fragments. That it hadn't been the first time. That they'd all been sneaking around for months. That while I thought I had a boyfriend and 2 best friends, I really had 3 people laughing behind my back. I can't even describe the feeling. It wasn't just betrayal. It was humiliation, loneliness, rage. I kicked Jason out the next day, packed his stuff into trash bags, and left them by the door. I blocked Emily and Sarah on everything. It felt like cutting off limbs, but they were poisoned anyway. The weeks after were a blur. I cried until I couldn't anymore. I replayed every moment in my head, wondering how I missed the signs. I hated them. I hated him. But most of all, I hated myself for trusting people who didn't deserve it. But here's the thing about betrayal. It destroys you, yes, but it also rebuilds you. Little by little, I started reclaiming my life. New friends, new hobbies, therapy, long walks with music blasting in my ears, and slowly, the weight lifted. Jason tried to come back. Of course he did, with flowers, with apologies, with promises, but by then, I wasn't the same girl anymore. I wasn't the naive, trusting girlfriend he could fool. I told him no. For the first time, I felt powerful saying it. And as for Emily and Sarah, I don't even think about them anymore. They don't exist in my world. Now, months later, I've realized something. Losing 3 people I thought I couldn't live without turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me, because it forced me to see who I really am. Stronger, wiser, free.